Yo, this video randomly came up on my timeline, and it basically was this judge. She had asked this woman, "What is in knocking?" And I was like, "In knocking?" I was like, "That can't be what I think it is, right?" It's called Judge Boyd stops until lady says what in knocking stands for. This video is crazy, you guys. So I went ahead and fast forward to the part where she actually gets to it. Let's go ahead and play the intro. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And let's get right on into it, you guys. All right, you guys, here we go. Let's get into it. And I just want to say something. I've noticed that a lot of people, in this case, this lady is Hispanic, right? But a lot of people that like to use the N word, they'll use it in a way like, have you ever heard of in-lipping it? I had somebody who I used to know, and they're like, they drink really fast, right? And they went like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I in-lipped it." And I'll look like, "What the f are you talking about?" They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So literally, people who are not black will just throw the N word in any way, shape, or form to describe something. It's ridiculous, but let's get into the video, y'all.
All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to.
All right, explain to me what's an in knocked? That's in the police report. The officer said suspect 1 stated that victim 1 had in knocked on her door.
And they knocked on their door trying to.
No, I'm asking.
Yo, look, the lawyer trying to stuff in was like, well, they had knocked on the door. He's like, no. She was like, no. I'm asking her.
She constantly.
No. What is an in knock?
Nigger knocking.
Yeah, what is that?
Going and knocking on the door and running.
But why is it nigger knocking?
That's what.
Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't no? Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't Asian knocking? Why isn't some other knocking? Why is it called that?
No, that's just the way they.
Yo, I've never heard that expression before in all my life. I've never heard that. The way she was like, "Oh, that's what they call it." Who, ma'am? Who calls it that? That sounds like something you call it. Ridiculous.
They say it.
No, that's the way you say it because that's what you said.
That's what they. That's basically. I mean, all right. I don't know what else to tell you.
No, I'm just trying to figure out why would you call it that?
It wasn't racist. The kids just kept knocking on my door, constantly doing that to me. They live upstairs. I did not touch this kid, and I really don't even want to sit here and plead to say that I did.
Oh, you can go. We can have a jury trial.
I don't want to do that because he says that's not the best.
Yo, the way the judge is so calm, she was all like, "Oh, we can have a jury trial." She's like, "No, if you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, let's go to jury. We can have a jury trial. We can go to trial."
Thing to do.
No.
I just lost. Look, I lost a child. My son was 19 years old, was murdered just 2 years ago. I'm under a lot of stress already, so I'm just trying to get out of this and get it as easy as
just what?
I'm just stressed out enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So do you want a jury trial?
No, I don't. I just want to get this over with, do the probation and whatever I have to do.
All right. So what was the race of
you asked me that question? If you knew the answer to the question.
Here's the thing. I know she says she just lost a child and all that, but I just hate when people say, "Oh, I've been going through a lot." So because you go through a lot, that makes you racist. Because you're going through a lot, it made you racist. I don't get the correlation. We got to stop excusing people who say, "Oh, I've just been going through a lot. I'm so stressed." That doesn't make you racist. It can make you angry. It can make you upset. It can make you frustrated. But having a tragedy or something, stress or whatnot, it doesn't make you racist. We got to stop excusing that. Let's continue.
What is the race of the complainant?
Hispanic.
Hispanic.
Everyone's Hispanic in the instance.
Mm-hmm. And if I knew the answer, I don't know why you would say that. That's why I'm trying to figure out why you're saying it, because in the police report, they say you were intoxicated. So I'm trying to figure out,
Intoxicated.
that's what it says in the police report. It says suspect stated V had knocked on her door and she came outside to see who knocked. And victim's family came down the stairs yelling at her, accused her of hitting the victim. Suspect kept saying she did not want to tell her side of the story and tried to walk away to go inside. I detained suspect to investigate further. And it says in here that there was signs of drinking.
I don't see a crime in drinking in your own home. I was in my own
I'm
home.
just trying to figure out what's going on because I have to set conditions for you. Is this an anger problem? Because they want you to do.
I'm sorry that you caught me off guard with the question that you asked me. I feel like you're kind of in a setup, I felt kind of set up with that question. I understand.
Lady, what was the setup? You said it. And allegedly you hit somebody and they said you was in a drunken state. I mean, the judge has every right to ask you because she has to set a sentence. She got to make sure you're okay. Like, do you need therapy? Like, do you need some kind of drug testing or whatnot? Because you do seem, even right now, I don't know if she's drunk or not, but she appears to be on something, right? She don't appear to be all there, right?
And it's not a word to be used. And I understand that I used it in the wrong word, in a wrong way. And I apologize for that. So I'm sorry.
No,
There's more in here that you said. You're using profanity. I am trying to figure out, because it says suspect had a strong odor of intoxicants on her. I'm trying to figure out why the state is asking for anger management, because they're requesting that you do anger management. They're requesting that you have a TAP evaluation to see if you have a drug or alcohol problem. They're asking for sober support meetings. Sober support meetings are usually for people who have a drug or alcohol problem. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because you told me that the lady, Samantha, had, assaulted you or is still causing problems with you. So I'm trying to read the room and figure out what's going on, and I cannot.
I'm leaving this apartment. So I'm already have gone into a new place to live. I'm leaving on Sunday because the lady kicked my dog the other day. And she got up in my face and stuck her finger in my face and started yelling at me. No, I don't have a drinking problem. Yes, I lost my child on February 5th, 2023. He was murdered by a best friend in a gas station in Austin, Texas. And I lost my fiance 11 days before that. He had a heart attack inside my home. I've been under a lot of stress and frustration. These people don't leave me alone from upstairs. It's a constant fight with this lady. So I'm moving myself away from that environment. I've already lost my job because of her, that I had a job with for 6 years.
This is one thing that I'm happy that I don't live in an apartment anymore. There used to be this lady who would say like, oh, you're always jumping up and down on the floor and I can't stand it. It's all like, lady, one thing, I'm fat, I'm heavy footed. So if I walk around, it might make a little noise, right? I won't excuse that. But sometimes I would be laying down and this lady would just be making complaints just all the time about me. And definitely if I had a party at my apartment, she didn't like that. So I say that all to say, I'm just glad I don't live in an apartment anymore because, sometimes you get those bad neighbors. But I will say, once the lady she was evicted. Once she got evicted and was out of there, the new neighbors never complained about me. Because at first I was like, damn, I might be hella fat and I might need to walk a little softer on the floor. But the new neighbors never complained about noise. So, hey, I think it was just her.
Working from home. And I politely went upstairs and told her, look, I work from home. All they do is they run like a herd of elephants upstairs and it basically just annoying people. And that's it. The kid just keeps knocking on my door. They would steal my decorations from my home. I've already complained. So now I'm taking myself out of the environment and just going somewhere else.
All right, state. You're requesting.
But something that still doesn't make sense. Why the in knocking, the ninja knocking? Like, why say if these people are Hispanic, why even say that? Like, where'd you get that from? That's internally within you because no, that's not a thing that people say. And trust me, before I did this video, I looked it up to see if people say that. Google didn't have nothing. You made that up, lady.
anger management and sober meetings? All right, and why are you requesting that?
Seems like that would be beneficial for the defendant to undergo.
Put her in jail,
Yeah,
Judge.
we're in agreement with the state. We would have to probate the fine, Your Honor. As you heard, the defendant has lost her job. She's having to have moving expenses. She is indigent and court appointed, Your Honors. At this time, we would ask to follow the plea and to waive the fine.
So you're fine with anger management and sober meetings?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's going to be a $500 fine probated, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors.
Oh, definitely not.
There's going to be 1 year deferred adjudication, 80 hours of community service restitution. I think she needs anger management. I'm going to order anger management. Once she's completed that, then 40 of the hours will be deemed satisfied. And then I'm going to order 60 sober meetings in 60 days. TAP evaluation, that can be out of custody. Follow recommendations. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months.
Notice how Judge Boyd is still showing her grace and mercy and not really dragging this woman through the coals like she could.
Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. There's to be no contact with the following persons: Danny Ibarra, Samantha
Those are the names.
Coronado, and Brenda Espinoza. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, and Ms. Abrams, see if maybe a referral to Center for Healthcare Services, maybe they can help her with any type of trauma. All right. All right, thank you.
Thanks for.
Yo, and the way like she was even still like, yo, this lady obviously has some trauma. She said her fiance passed away 11 days before her son got murdered. Like, yeah, she's obviously going through some trauma. And I get that, I understand that, but it still will never sit right with me for the reason why people are racist or just plain ignorant. And you know, they say a drunken mind speaks sober thoughts. When I'm drunk, I might be loose, you know, like to have a good time, but I don't become a different person. Anything that I say while I'm under the influence, I meant to say that. It might have slipped out differently than I wanted it to, but I wanted to say what I wanted to say, right? So with that being said, the lady saying she was drunk and all them, nah, I don't take that excuse. But Judge Boyd showed this lady mercy when she didn't have to. So I got to say shout out to the judge. But let me know if you want more videos like this where we do reaction to different court videos. Again, shout out to, I believe the channel is Court Uncut. Shout out to them for the clip. I appreciate that. But make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And let me know what you think about. Have y'all ever heard of ninja knocking? Have y'all ever heard of that? Let me know in the chat. Deuces, everybody. But we out.